Today for New Music Monday, we're going to look at the brand new album from Bjork, and it's called Vulnicura. First things first, anybody who watches my videos with any regularity knows that I am a massive fan of Bjork and have been for more than 2 decades. She's one of my all-time favorite performers, and I've easily burned through probably half a dozen copies of her post-album in that time. I love it that much. But given the direction and sound on her last album, I was very apprehensive when this was released, let alone released early because of a leak. But I jumped into it with an open mind because one of the best things about Bjork is she never really makes the same album twice. You never know what artistic direction she's gonna take, and it's always gonna be something you've never really heard before. I will admit, when those deep, dark strings opened this album, I had a huge smile on my face, as they set the perfect mood for this record and in a lot of ways give a nod to the bulk of her career. That is to say, in so many different ways, this album is kind of a culmination of everything she's done thus far. You've got those deep, desolate strings, the uniquely wonderful rhythmic patterns all over the place. You've also got those sound effects and sonic textures that sort of take you to another musical plane, another world of existence. It's like there's the sadness of Post combined with the production of Homogenic, and then there's that fragile nature that you had on Vespertine all in one album. But know this, Vulnicura is a very dark and somber album. There's a couple moments of light here and there, and while that's not a bad thing at all, it just keeps going deeper. This record gets really deep. The opening track is great in every way, and if you listen really closely to the bridge and the chorus, your brain is gonna start telling you it sounds a lot like Lord's Royals, and that's because it does, but not in a bad way. And I've never really put the two of them in the same place in my mind, but when you think about it, there is a strong connection from the sounds that Lord makes to what Bjork has been doing for 20 some odd years. Each of the songs on this album fits perfectly with the one before it and the one after it. It's got a great flow from beginning to end. But this is one of the few Bjork records where there's not a moment that gets really loud or in your face or anything like that. Usually there's at least 1 or 2 of those, but this album stays very mellow and very morose, and it does that in a very good way. Along with that, every single song is given all of the time it needs to create itself, to breathe, to really figure out everything the song can be. All but 2 of the tracks on this album come in at over 6 minutes long. And the fact that they're such complete musical thoughts quickly vaults this album to another level. You can really sink into the mood and feel on every single song, and this record really envelops you. It surrounds you, it brings you in, and you really don't want to leave. One of the things I really dig on this album is how great the strings work. They have so much personality, and it really shows you how much you can do with a string arrangement. I love the fact that production-wise, they keep them dirty in some places. It sounds great. And the massive shift in the sound of the strings that happens during the song Family, it's beyond words. On top of all the cool music you've got going on, of course, you have Bjork's voice, and to tell you the truth, she sounds stronger and better than ever. I mean, you can put these songs right next to the ones on debut, and her voice sounds just the same. It's timeless. I don't know how she does it. But while the singing is definitely strong, she also sounds more vulnerable than she's ever been, and with the type of music Bjork's made in the past, that's saying something. She really holds nothing back. You can feel the pain and sorrow in every single note. And when they double or triple her vocal for emphasis, it works brilliantly. It gives so much depth to these songs. Insofar as the lyrics are concerned, this is a return to top form for Bjork, as she's about as brutally bare as she's ever been. And the words on songs like Not Yet absolutely rip you up inside, and they give you insight into just how much she's been struggling in her personal life lately. In a lot of ways, it shows one of the biggest things that was missing from her last record. It wasn't as personal, it wasn't as introspective. I mean, I don't want to sound like a jerk or heartless, but when Bjork's personal life isn't going very well, her music is a million times better. I don't wish even the slightest bit of tragedy or sadness for her, but the way she's able to express herself when those things are going on in her life, it's just magical. Whether it's songs that have an amazing build and release like you find on Black Lake, or the way the emotions move around you, the way all the sounds just spin, this is a true return to form in every way for Bjork, and anyone who had questioned whether she'd lost her musical way, she answers it with a resounding absolutely not. And on the buy it or borrow it, this is a 110% buy it. In fact, you know what? Buy it twice. Get one for a friend and help spread the word of this gloriously magnificent album. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you dug it. If you did, go ahead and click like and go down in the comments and tell me what you thought of this album. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook right here, and I'll see you guys again next time.